2021, a whole new year. So before we begin officially in a few minutes, I invite you to take a nice deep breath, a nice slow deep breath. And give it a little sigh so that you feel the breath in the body and the body in the breath. Maybe visualize or feel the breathing in and the breathing out, feeling every muscle fiber of your being move while you breathe. Maybe hum a little bit. And allow yourself to fall into the space between two breaths. So that you can be fully present in the here and now, and with this experience this morning on our first Sunday of the year. So welcome again. So glad you're tuning in wherever you are. We have a new theme for 2021. It is timeless wisdom and evolutionary vision. Timeless wisdom and evolutionary vision is the theme for 2021, and we're joining many centers for spiritual living communities with the same vision. So that's the theme for the month as well, timeless wisdom and evolutionary vision. And today my topic is a fresh new start, metaphysical style. It's a very simple, no anything celebration this morning. It's just me. You get just me. We have no music. We have no practitioner. And we are grateful to have Michael Malik here helping us with his IT. So it's just us. And it's actually a surprisingly snowy day. We had the biggest snowflakes I think I've ever seen. So we are enjoying our winter. So what I want to talk about is consciously beginning this new adventure of a new year, which is really the adventure of being and becoming, by more deeply awakening to the truth within, to a higher vision for ourselves, for others, and for the world. So pay attention. It's a message with some visioning today that allows us to start off the new year. So my name is Frankie Timmers. I'm the spiritual director at Center for Spiritual Living Morristown in beautiful historic Morristown, New Jersey, USA, and we're glad you're here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, even if you're watching the rebroadcast of this live broadcast. I would like you to know that we have a website, www.cslmorristown.org, that is being updated, but that is a place where if you feel you want to give back and support our community, you can go and just give. And we want you to say hello, say hi, where are you from if this is your first time? Use the bubble, say hello to one another, start a watch party, share our Facebook page, share our events that we post. Make sure that you're on our email list, because every week, at least once or twice a week, we send out emails with all the great stuff that is happening at our center. And tag someone that you think might really be spiritually nourished by being a part of this wonderful community. We are also on Instagram, Twitter, 2 Facebook pages, Meetup, YouTube, all that good stuff. So thank you for being here. And I'll share a little bit later of some new upcoming events we have. Let us begin with an opening treatment, which is our word for affirmative prayer. So I invite you to turn within, to that secret, sacred, silent space that knows no words, that knows no action, that knows no doing, that only knows being. It knows being in harmony with the divine, which created us out of itself and therefore inhabits us. We consciously get to choose to inhabit it by means of our thinking, our feeling, our spiritual practices, our remembering, our breath, our studies. And so today, as we begin this new year, we realize it's really just another day, it's another month, but it's meaningful to each and every one of us because it feels different. It feels like infinite possibility is before us. It feels like we're being welcomed into a new space, and it requires not just our attention, but our intention. It requires our divine vigilance so that we know we're always moving into the direction of greater awareness and greater manifestation and deeper connection with absolute truth. So we are grateful for this medium of the internet and Facebook and YouTube. We are grateful to be part of a spiritual community that offers everything that it offers to keep us aligned and in which we are deeply supported, especially when we open and make ourselves more receptive. And so it is. So, welcome to another year, another new beginning. Welcome to this adventure. I really think of it as an adventure, especially at the beginning of the year. And it's an adventure in being and in becoming. Last Sunday, the last Sunday of 2020, Theo led you through some amazing practice of celebrating 2020, letting go of some things, welcoming the new, being a space. And I'm so grateful that he did that. Because what it reminds us of is that the greatest adventure is the inner adventure, is the adventure of our inner life. It is that spiritual adventure. And some of you might disagree. You might say, well, the pandemic has been a pretty big adventure for me. Or you might say, the biggest travel I've ever done in my life is the greatest adventure for me. And all that, of course, is true because they're not separate. But truly, if we think about it, the greatest adventure is our inner life, is our spiritual journey. And I am so grateful because I am blessed to have been part of the Science of Mind community and teaching for almost 40 years. And that is the greatest gift and the greatest blessing in my life. And so this time of year is a good time to go back to basics. To go back to the basic principles of life, to go back to remembering our own values, our own guiding principles, our own guiding values as we navigate our way through life. And so whether you're brand new to this teaching or you're an old timer like me, you've been around a while, there is always that adventure. And there are aspects to that adventure that are so basic that Ernest Holmes reminds us of over and over and over again, Ernest Holmes being the founder of our teaching. That is, there is a power within us. And whether we call this God, love, presence, peace, grace, joy, happiness, light, there are a gazillion names for it. Pick one that makes your heart sing. Pick one that lifts you up, that makes you stand taller, that makes you take a breath of awe. And so that power, that presence is our true nature. That's the adventure. To discover this power is within you and that it is your true nature. You might think your true nature is your personality, your body, your labels, but no, your true nature is your essential spirit, your soul. And so there is a power that is greater than we are, and it's within us, and it's available. It is ever available. It does not go out to lunch. It doesn't have an on and off switch. It's ever, ever, ever available. It's always at work. And then the third part is we are on this adventure to awaken to this power that is within us that is ever available. We get to use it. And our lives show us how we're using it. And if we can pluck out judgment or criticism or belief in lack around it, if we can just pluck that out, we're free. So that's the adventure. And if we can choose to call it an adventure, it's so much more fun than drudgery, right? And so back to the simple basics is the way to concretize your center, your home base, your North Star, your guiding value or guiding principle or whatever you call it. So that when you hear something in the news that scares you, or when you wake up in the middle of the night with a panic attack or with some anxiety, which I do sometimes, or if you're worried about the future, or whatever it may be, you know where to go. You know what to do. You go back to the basic principle, back to the basic value, back to home base, back to the truth. And you use that to shift your experience. You carry it. You carry it with you wherever you go. And there might be moments where you forget. I sure do. But it's giving ourselves the gift of a pause, a breath, a space to remember that we more stay on track than get lost. And so I think 2020 was the year of forced awakening. And many people that I know said yes to that. And I see many people resisting it and struggling with it. So their focus is on the pain and suffering related to the pandemic rather than the opportunities it gave us to reset, to remember what's really important, to know what life is really about. And those of us who are on a spiritual path, we really are privileged. We really are blessed because we much more gracefully navigate our way through the challenges. And so you might think about what is this year going to look like and how am I going to be? Well, the what doesn't really matter, right? It's the how that matters. And so we turn to that divine presence within us. We connect with its availability and we choose to act from it, to live from it, to move through the world with that awareness. See, the thing is, you don't need to be more spiritual. You do not need to be more spiritual. And you and I need to stop thinking that someone is more or less spiritual than you are or than so-and-so is. Because the truth is, each of us, everyone on this planet, is 100% spiritual. That's already the truth. We're 100% spiritual. There's no percentage to add to that. There's just the awakening to that particular truth. What does that mean? I can ask. If I'm already 100% spiritual, then what's going on? What does it mean? What am I to do? And that answer is to live what you know, to live the truth of your very being, to act from that place. And so the question is, after saying I'm already 100% spiritual for you, is the question is, what do I believe then? What do I believe about that? What do I believe about truth is already within me? It's ever available. I get to use it. I am 100% free. I'm already 100% spiritual. I get to express more and more of that. And so we look at the information that we are experiencing, and then we make choices about the application. And then we add into the mix dedication and devotion. And so when you hear in the news that COVID is getting worse or that there is a new strain, you know what to do. You stop, you pause, you remember there's a power within you that is all health, all wealth, all love, all creativity. It is ever available, and you can awaken to it and use it and live from it. It is working for you. And then you choose how, which may be, I need to be in the present moment and trust that all is well. I need to get my affairs in order. I need to make more time for spiritual practices. I need to walk in nature. I need to eat healthier. I need to sit here in prayer for our entire planet. You will be guided because the wisdom is already within you. It's not to be gotten anywhere outside. So that's the way we create a new story. That's the way we collectively create 2020. We get to make 2020 together. And so again, it's who you are being and becoming rather than what you're doing or what's happening in the world. And then claim it as an opportunity to be more free rather than to be more bound. Whether it's bound by limiting beliefs, bound by circumstances, bound by conditions. Ernest Holmes, in the Science of Mind textbook, uses the word bondage a lot, and it's really an outdated word. But if you think about it, we are either experiencing freedom or we're experiencing bondage. And what binds you? It's a good question to ask yourself, what binds me? And we'll do some visioning together so you'll have more clarity. And so the visioning then will allow us to have a deeper experience of that truth of being 100% spiritual and that power of, or that wisdom being within you. So you can ask, if you're 100% spiritual, then you're 100% free. What do you believe about that? And what are you ready to release? And what do you want to carry with you? So I want you to take a moment as I do a mini kind of visioning process together to close your eyes and to take a deep breath, to really listen to your heart of hearts, not your ego mind, but your heart of hearts. And let come whatever comes in whatever way it comes without censoring it. If it's nothing, then that's what it's meant to be. And it's just the invitation to practice visioning a little bit more. Whether you do that with me or a practitioner or on your own or with a CD, there's so many ways to do it. So feel your breath again. Feel the in-breath expand your body and the out-breath contract it a little bit. And just allow the word free to take up space in your mind, body, soul, heart. And what that feels like now. Free, freedom. Maybe you find yourself taking a deeper breath. I do. When I think freedom, I just... And so in this place, let's ask the question, the first one. What is available to me in order to be more free, according to my spirit? What is my spirit telling me is available around being more free? Maybe a word comes to mind, an image, a sound, a feeling. Going a little bit deeper, we ask, in order to be that, experience that fully, what must I let go of? What's in the way that's ready to leave, that I'm ready to part with? What do I want to leave behind? Now, is there anything else? Is there anything else I need to know in this moment about the new story I'm stepping into, the new becoming that's happening? And slowly and gently bring your attention back until you're ready to open your eyes. And so immediately what came for me was to deepen my faith and to release fear. What I love about visioning is that it can be so simple that the mind, the ego mind, kind of go, nah, that's just too easy. But I do believe that really living a spiritual life is about living those really simple, easy principles, like deepening your faith and releasing fear, whatever forms it comes in. And then, was there anything else I heard? Laugh more. Laugh more. Have more fun. Isn't that sweet? So I would love for you to share what came in your visioning, whether you're going to email me at drfrankie@CSL Morristown or put it right on Facebook for everyone to see, because the moment you say it or write it or express it and share it with someone else, it takes on something powerful. It's like planting seeds. And because it's here, it's received in the spirit of love, in the soil of love, it must begin to grow. And so when we do the visioning, what comes in the visioning, we must remember, yes, we're experiencing it, it's for us. But we have to remember that there's only one life, one mind, one. And that it's really not just for us. It's for everyone. And that it's not just an individual experience, it's a collective, universal experience. I think sometimes in our teaching, we can get a bit self-absorbed. And I think we have to remember that those of us on the spiritual path, we must include everyone, especially those who are suffering. And so remember that your vision is always bigger than you. It's always bigger than you think it is. It's always a bigger idea that wants to be lived or wouldn't come through. So be devoted to that information. Be devoted to the application. And be devoted to the dedication of becoming that. Because once we become that, it becomes our day-to-day living. So this is your North Star. This is your intention. This is your vision. This is your guiding principle. Pick a word. Maybe it's a word that came to you from the visioning. Maybe it's a word you heard me speak. But let that be your word, your guiding word for the year. Let it be your home base. And that as you move through the year, no matter what happens, no matter what hits the fan, because none of us know, we never know what's going to happen. But we know how we can be with it, be in it, go through it. And if you use your word or your phrase or your vision as a guiding principle, then it doesn't matter, because it's about your evolution. It's about your awakening. It's about your expansion. It's your gift to humanity. It's your gift to the world. I want to close with a reading. This is the book by Irvin Seal, Learn to Live, that we are using for our upcoming Bible wisdom class, which is amazing. This book has been such a treasure for me over the last few months. You can tell by all these little tags, right? It's my little taggy thing. And I want to read some of the last ideas on one of the last pages on page 238. One of the most practical ways in which a person can make use of the understanding of the law is in the breaking of old habits and establishing of new. Whilst one is in the grip of a bad habit, one's willpower is weak and ineffective. But by desiring to be free, by visioning oneself as free, by constantly reminding oneself that such thinking and visioning builds up reactions from the unconscious side of life, which when they arise, compel toward good with the same force that they formerly compelled toward error. By this means, one can build a new habit structure into the mind. And by reaction of the law of the mind, this new structure will precipitate itself into function and into a new experience. Anybody can have willpower, not by struggling against their habit or any fact or any situation in their lives, but by going within, devoting themselves to a vision of what they want to be and building it up thought by thought and mood by mood until the vessel of consciousness is so full of a certain kind and quality of thought that it passes from vision and ideal into function and fact. Whew. Wow, it's powerful paragraph from Irvin Seal's Learn to Live. This class is starting on the 13th. I want you to know about this, and you're welcome to join. It's going to be Wednesday nights. And I have the wrong page, but from memory, it's Wednesday nights, the middle of the month, and Thursday mornings if we have enough students. It's 10 weeks. And the text we are using is this book and Bible and Metaphysical Bible Dictionary by Charles Fillmore. So come and join us to really look at the Bible stories and make them our own. Really look at them from a metaphysical perspective. We have a very special guest, and this is hot off the press, on the 31st of January, Greg Lavoie. So we will share this with everybody, and we invite you to become part of our spiritual community as we renew in this year and recreate who and what and how we are. So thank you for joining us. Share with everyone you know the beautiful work we're doing here. And remember, the truth of your very being is already within you. It is awaiting to be lived. Let's close with a healing treatment now. I am so grateful in this very moment to speak this word. I speak it in the I am that I am, which is from and to my true nature, my essential nature, spirit within. And so right here, right now, as I sit in the third day of a new year, that I have a clear vision for myself. I have a home base. I have a guiding value or principle that carries me through. It is what I hold on to with devotion so that it continues to manifest throughout my days. So that no matter what happens in my day, in my life, in my world, in the world, I stand in the truth of this guiding principle. I am devoted to it. It is a living principle, so I act from it. I use it actively by slowing down, taking deep breaths, allowing myself to be awake, and knowing that I have the gift and the freedom of choice. This new adventure, metaphysical style, is the gift I give myself and humanity, for I get to be an example of how spirit in me, through me, for me, as me works in unique ways, as a unique individualized expression of the One. I am blessed to have the entire universe support me, not to mention all those who hold me in their hearts and prayers, those who love me, those who support me. I let go of anything that's in the way, whether it's an intention or a clear knowing and commitment right here and right now. I let go of what's in the way. I continue to let go of what's in the way, and I revel in the sweetness of all the blessedness of life itself. This I turn over to the universal law. It only knows to say yes. It only knows to demonstrate it. And today I believe that more deeply. I trust that more deeply. And so it is. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Know that you are made new. And a very blessed, very, very blessed 2021.